Why do I always get caught up when I push record? You know what I mean? It's hard to just talk to no one. It's actually a little weird. So I'm still figuring that out, how to just kind of get into the groove of talking about what I want to talk about while I'm sitting in a room by myself talking to no one. It works when it's in my head, when I'm just talking in my head and I'm planning what I want to say. But then as soon as I hit record, it's like blank, you know? I don't know. Anyway, what this channel is really about is getting from the place that you don't want to be to the place that you do want to be in life. You know, we all have goals and aspirations, and we want to live this life that we think is going to happen in the future. But the thing is, the future is continuously elusive, and then we find that we've aged significantly and nothing's happened. So the cool thing about having this ankle monitor on is that I have I'm very limited to what I can do right now. I can basically just be here, go to work, and then there's a few other things that I can do here and there, as long as I schedule it with them. So I'm very limited. And so the instinct is to be like, okay, well, as soon as this comes off, then everything's going to happen. Then I'm going to do all this great stuff, right? But the reality of that situation is that I actually have a limited amount of time where I'm confined like this, and I don't have all these other options. I can just and I can actually just use this time to focus, to get focused, to get just dialed in, to you know, get all of my bad habits kind of washed away and my new habits, good habits, solidified. That's what I need to do right now. That's what I am doing right now while I don't have these other options. So as new options start to, you know, unfold, as I start to get more freedom, as I start to get, you know, bigger options on what I can do and where I can go, then I'm already ready to take advantage of those things. So right now I have a lot of work that I can do just on myself, getting myself really dialed in. So that's what I'm doing here right now. And last week we minimalized, and that was good. Cleared out all this stuff that's sort of cluttering up the space and cluttering up my focus. Just the distractions that exist in all your stuff. This is something that I'm eliminating. I'm still in the process of doing it more, but I did a big push last week. So you can watch that video if you want to see that. But this week I'm going to tackle something that is also very hard to get down, and that is eating habits. Okay, I am pretty healthy right now. I you know, kind of exercise moderately. I'm active. I stay physically active somewhat, not consistently. The exercise thing is something we're going to tackle in a future video, probably next week. But at the foundation of all that is what I'm putting in my body to fuel myself. Okay, I do all right, but I cheat all the time, and I'm easily derailed when there's something tempting sitting right in front of me and I'm in a moment of weakness. You know, all the snacks and stuff at work, I'll eat one. Somebody comes to visit and, you know, we want to eat out because that's just something you do. I'll eat out, and then that will derail me, and then I'll get off and start to be like, well, since I just ate this shit, you know, right now I might as well keep eating it until I get back on track. You know how that goes. It's just a never-ending thing. So I'm making a commitment this week to just dialing everything down. And here are some reasons why I want to do this. One, I'm doing pretty good physically right now. Thankfully, prison kind of got me in the best shape of my life. But I want to be better. I want to be at least once in my life, I want to be flawless. You know what I mean? Before I get too old and it's too late. Okay, so I'm gonna take. I'm as close as I've ever been right now, and I want to get that dialed in because I want to look amazing. But so that's the dumbest reason, right? The next reason is because, you know, I have all of these things that keep popping up, these zits and stuff. I'm 37 almost, and I still have pimples all the time. What's up with that? You know, I didn't really have that much acne when I was a kid, but now it's like, it's all over the place all the time. And I have a suspicion that it has to do with, you know, eating sugar and eating trash. So we're gonna find out if that's the case by dialing in the diet, okay, and the eating routine. The next reason is because I have like digestive issues. Yeah, we're gonna talk about that. My whole life I've kind of had a little bit of digestive issues. I was on opiates a lot of the time in my adult life, and I think that had a lot to do with it. But even when I was younger, I had some, but they got worse. And now, after coming out of this phase where I was completely ruining my body with copious amounts of heroin and meth and almost destroying myself, I've come out of that with this issue where my digestion hasn't really reset completely. I've been completely clean off of that stuff for 2 years now, and almost 2 years now, coming up on 2 years now. And it still hasn't really gone back to normal. So that's another reason, and that leads me into the final reason, and the most important reason, my energy levels. I feel great, just awesome about half the time. And then the other half of the time, my energy is fluctuating all the time. I feel like dialed and focused and super present and super, you know, confident and focused at times, and I love that, and I want to feel like that all the time. But my energy fluctuates, and I know that we can't ever expect to feel amazing all the time. It's always going to fluctuate, but I want to reduce the fluctuation that is being caused by the stuff I'm putting in my body, okay? We're going to have to address caffeine. I know that caffeine isn't making me feel better the way I want it to. We're going to address cheating on eating stuff that you know you shouldn't be eating, the just obvious stuff. Then we're gonna look at, you know, what the core of the diet is, and which things need to be eliminated or changed, and which things need to be added. And then we're gonna talk about like how much we're eating. Let's take a look at that stuff and get started on it right now. Alright, so here's what the fridge looks like right now. We got some pizza in here, we got pupusas, pozole, tacos in there. Got Ben & Jerry's in the freezer. Uh-oh, that's my weakness. Now, what I'm tempted to do is just throw all this stuff away right now because I'm feeling motivated, right? But I'm not the only one who lives here, so my roommate might want to eat it, and I don't want to be making those decisions for him. But the key thing here is, I think, is that there's gonna be stuff that you don't want to eat that's gonna be thrown in your face all the time. And so it's more important maybe to have the power to not eat it, to know that it can be around and you're not gonna eat it, because it's always gonna be around at some point. And if that's your strategy, to just not have it around, that's not gonna work. So I'm gonna leave it in there. I'm just gonna resolve to not touch it for now. All right, we're going to the grocery store. So thankfully I'm getting a ride here from my friend Carissa and my friend Alex. What did you eat today so far? Applesauce and muffins. And what?
Wheel and Lurker.
What's that?
Wheel.
Cereal.
Oh, cereal.
And strawberry milk.
What did you just eat this whole bag of? Oh my gosh. All right, I got some nutritional yeast. You know what this is?
Yeast.
Yeah. I'm gonna smell this. Smell it. Does it smell gross?
Move it.
All right, so the first thing that I have been eating each day is a green smoothie, like protein shake. Frozen berries, almond milk, power greens, protein powder. Put it all in here, blend. And then drink it standing up in the kitchen. Making 1 cup of coffee for the day. Cut out all the rest of the caffeine. I was drinking so much caffeine. I was drinking Red Bulls, Bangs, like this green tea, just constantly. And I think that probably had a lot to do with me feeling kind of shitty too. All right. For lunch, I'm eating this. It's just salmon with some greens and some broccoli. This is what we deal with at work. Having to give in to these temptations. Dang. Just snacks and chips and cookies and Jeff. Here's what I'm eating for dinner. Power greens, some yellow onion, an avocado, nutritional yeast, bitchin' sauce, and black chia seeds. Put it all in this bowl, mix it up, and then I just eat it standing up. Yes. It doesn't have to be complicated. It only has to be as complicated as you want to make it. You have stuff all over my face. But if you keep it simple and just easy to repeat, then we're doing good, you know? Okay, it's been a week. I ate all that stuff that I just showed you. I drank 1 cup of coffee in the morning only, except for one day I had a 2nd cup, okay? So I cheated one time, but it didn't make me feel any better. So I am gonna stick with the 1 cup in the morning. What's happened so far? 1, the physique hasn't changed much. Actually, I feel like I've kind of slimmed down a little bit because I wasn't eating so much, but it's really too early to tell after a week. Nothing's really changed. 2nd, the acne. Also pretty early to tell, but nothing new's popped up. I don't know if that's just a fluke. Let's see how that goes as I continue doing this. 3, digestion. Improved significantly, like immediately, like within the first 2 days. I'm having smooth moves and nice and, I won't get into that. But it's been good. And finally, number 4, energy levels. I have gotten more done this week than I normally do because I feel more motivated. I feel more steady. I don't have these ups and downs as much. It's not perfect, obviously. I still, do this a bit, but I've noticeably stabilized. Which is crazy in just a week of doing this. Some difficulties that I ran into were not quite enough food. So one night I did add, I started adding, I think 1 or 2 nights I added a can of tuna to the salad at night, a little more protein. But that's about it. I did eat a little bit of oatmeal in the morning one time too, because I realized towards the end of the week that I was hungry and I didn't plan for enough. But the first few days I was fine. I think I was just flushing everything out, and then I kind of stabilized and I started to become more hungry. So I need to add some more calories somewhere, a little more strategically. But success right away, improvements right away, crazy. So I always relate this back to prison a little bit because that's kind of the theme that I'm coming from and starting from, rebuilding from that experience. And I have to say that having any kind of food you want at any time you want is quite a luxury, and we take it for granted. When I was in prison and county jail, the food was not very much and really not good, especially in county jail. There's actually a photo that I'm going to put up here in a second of a food tray that looks exactly like the food trays from PAR, which is the county jail I was in, Washoe County Jail. And here it is. This is what it looks like. I don't know where this came from, but that's pretty much exactly what they looked like. It was not exactly the same thing every night, but that's the main meal of the day. That is what you get as the most substantial meal of the day. The other meals, breakfast, which they serve at 3:30 in the morning for some reason. You have to get up to get that. It's just some cornmeal. It's like 4 spoonfuls of this cornmeal that who knows what it really is. And you might think, why would you get up at 3:30 for that? Just skip it. But you don't get much food, so you're kind of starving, so you kind of get up and get that stuff. For lunch, they give you what we call a cat food sandwich, which is like bologna and relish, like some sort of weird bologna and relish kind of blended up and then put in between two pieces of white bread, and the bread is always soggy and disgusting by the time you get it. It's really foul. I actually couldn't stomach them for a while I was there, but let me tell you, by the 4th month, I loved those things. I loved everything that they served, because, you know, just anything is better than starving, I guess. A lot of the times we would actually get food in there that was straight up rotten. You'd be so hungry and just can't wait for meals. You're just sitting around waiting for the next meal so you can eat, and then something arrives and it's rotten. It was completely rotten, like unedible. And so you're just like, well, I guess I don't eat this time and hope tomorrow it gets better. It's pretty wild. But this is all just to say that having the luxury to just eat what you want whenever you want is awesome. I looked forward to it so much after being in there. That's one of the main things I looked forward to, was just, I could not wait to start eating healthy. I could not wait to start putting healthy things in my body. And then I did that for a while, and so quickly I got off just being in the world again. There's just so much junk everywhere that's so, like, looks so good, and I started eating that stuff. I started flaking. I started getting off track, and that's what this push is about this week. Just getting back to eating what I know is going to fuel me so that I can have better focus and consistency and not have to struggle getting through the day. I just want to be on point. That's it. And whatever it takes to get there is what I'm going to do right now. And that's what I'm doing here on this channel right now. I'm just honing everything in and figuring out how to do better, do everything better so that I can just be better. All right, that's what I have for you this week. But really quick, before we go, I'm going to start adding at the end of every one of these videos a song of the week. So the song of the week it's very simple. It's the song that I've been digging the most this week. I listen to a lot of music. I have a deep love for music, and I am very passionate about the music that I like. So I'm always listening, and there's always a song that sticks out to me, generally throughout a few day period. And whatever that song is within the week that I'm making the video, I'm going to recommend it. Before, I was thinking I would maybe, find my favorite songs and pick and choose and put them up here, but no, I'm not doing any of that. All I'm doing is just going with whatever the song I'm liking the most this week is, no matter what it is. It could be something really crazy and weird, or it could be just a song that everybody's heard before, but whatever the song is, it's what I'm recommending. And this week, the song of the week, the one that I've been just loving, is called Speech Bubbles, and it's by The Smile. So The Smile is a trio that formed recently with Johnny Greenwood and Tom York from Radiohead, and another guy on the drums, that guy. And together they made this album. Who knows if they're gonna make more? It's probably just a little side project of Tom York's and Johnny Greenwood's, but the album is awesome, and Speech Bubbles is the song that stuck out to me the most on it. So it's a little weird, but it's my favorite kind of stuff. The thing is, I can't play it here on YouTube because of copyright issues, so you gotta go listen to it on your own. So plug that song into whatever it is that you listen to music on, and take a listen to it. Get back to me, throw me a comment, because I'd love to talk about it. All right. That does it. We'll see you next week.